Sunday, September 25, 2016. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1998 Volvo V70. Picked this car up last week, and I've been just getting started getting this ready to be my new winter car slash, sometimes daily driver. It's actually in really good shape for its age. You can see the paint is nice and shiny and glossy. That's actually most of what I was doing this past week. I was, during the evenings, I was cleaning up the paint job. I ran some compound over it, and then a 3-part Meguiar's cleaner, polish, wax, and the paint job actually turned out beautiful. There's a few little bumps and bruises around the car, but it's nothing you wouldn't expect. It's actually much nicer than you might expect for a car that's 18 years old and has almost 200,000 miles on it. If you give me a moment, I'm going to give you a brief walk around. So I bought the car 2 weeks ago on Tuesday. Ignore this gap here, the hood is unlatched at the moment. All in all, I've been very happy with it. The car drove here, and actually the previous owner drove it to the house for me. And it's been in the garage since. Took it out today so I could have some daylight while I'm working on it. But it will be going back in the garage later. You can see the paint job actually turned out really nice. I'm not sure if the video is really capturing this. It's certainly not perfect, but once again, for a 200,000 mile car that I assume has spent most of its life, at least, in New England, it's pretty amazing. The previous owners bought this car, I want to say in 2007, when it was 9 years old, so they've had it a little over 9 years now. And they lived in Connecticut, so it's been a Northeast car for at least that amount of time. For a car this old, with this many miles, this inexpensive, I don't run a Carfax. So I really don't know the car's history beyond that, but the car came with service records. It ran really well. The suspension seemed to be in good shape while I drove it. The exhaust is in good shape. It's nice and quiet. The biggest bit of body damage is actually right here. You can see this rippling in the quarter panel. There was a huge scuff here before, but I was able to actually buff most of that out. And I think from a distance it's actually going to be kind of hard to see this. You can still see a lot of scuffing here on the bumper that actually went through the paint. And I'm not really going to be doing anything about this, because once again, it's primarily going to be a winter car, and for a car in this price range, I'm not going to go nuts over the, over the visuals. I'm going to keep the car waxed and glossy, but that's probably about it. Because honestly, to take that to a body shop, I'm going to end up spending more than I spent on the whole car. It just does not seem worth it to me. As I said, I'm very happy with it. The exterior cleaned up very nicely. Not that it was horrible before, but honestly, you could put this car in a used car lot right now. At least in terms of the exterior. The interior, on the other hand, leaves quite a bit to be desired. You can see the carpets there are filthy. The Volvo carpeted floor mats are in the trunk. I don't know why they weren't on the floor of the car. But I mean, this is all ground in here. And the carpet's torn right here. You can see through to the padding. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do about this yet. This car has leather interior. You can see I've got some separation at the seam here and here. But I can take these covers off, and I can repair the stitching. Other than where the leather isn't torn. But it is dirty, and that's mostly what I'm going to be doing today, cleaning up all the hard surfaces in the car. Just give me a moment to sit down here. You can see the car has 199,273 miles, so I'll be passing 200,000 in the near future. The car does need some maintenance. It's due for an oil change. I'm I don't think I have any records on the last time it had, spark plugs and cap and rotor, so I'm going to be doing those two, along with the serpentine belt, probably the serpentine belt, idler. But the timing belt, I do have a record on that, and the timing belt's about halfway through its life, and they made specific note of having replaced the idlers. So when I have the serpentine belt assembly off, I'll probably pop off the timing covers just to get a quick visual look at everything. But I'm really not worried about that at this time. The big thing is this car needs a heater core replacement. Thankfully, that's actually nice and accessible under the dash. And I'm mostly going to be going through here, pulling back this carpeting. So, probably going to have all the carpeting out anyway. And the car's just dirty inside overall. You can see dirt, ground into the panel here. And there's and the panel separating from the rest of this piece is separating from the rest of the door panel. On the other side, it's torn. What else? These sun visors do not stay up properly, so I guess the springs are broken. So I need to get replacement sun visors. There's a sunroof seal that has come out, but it's in the trunk. I took a look at it. The seal looks okay. I just have to figure out where it goes, maybe glue it back down. But other than that, I do enjoy sunroofs. This is my first sunroof car of any kind in years. It's also my first car with a functional air conditioner in many years, so I'm happy about that. As I said, though, today's task is clean up as much as I can. Here's kind of the worst of it. Previous owner has wadded up a whole bunch of old chewing gum and just left it in the ashtray. So, you have to get that out, get that off, disinfect that. I mean, I could get junkyard pieces, but I doubt it'll be necessary. Assuming I can get all that off, and I'm sure I can. It's just a simple matter of disinfecting them and then putting the pieces back in. The emergency flasher switch is also frozen in place and not working, so I have to see if I can get that unstuck, maybe get that working. And that's pretty much it. So, moving on to the interior today. And I think once I'm done with the hard surfaces, I'm going to get the car back into the garage and then pull the front seats out. Because that way, once the front seats are out, I can get the carpeting up and try to clean that. And, worst case scenario, just get the car ready for fresh carpeting. So this is a Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching, and I may or may not update at the end of the day when I'm done cleaning all the hard surfaces.